Hi, welcome to the 2020 Open Enrollment for Center for Children and Families. My name is Raymond Norton and I am with J. Wineland Group Benefits. We are the health insurance agents for your benefit program. The month of June is our annual open enrollment period. All elections will be effective July 1st and will remain in effect until June 30th, 2021, unless you have a qualifying event mid-year. Our medical, dental, and vision benefits will remain with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, and our basic life, voluntary life, and short-term disability benefits will remain with Mutual of Omaha. We are also excited to roll out a medical bridge policy with Colonial Life. This policy will help cover some of your out-of-pocket costs if you're enrolled on the copay plan. Unfortunately, the bridge policy is not available if you are on the HSA or high deductible plan. Talk about the life and disability benefits that are available to you with Mutual of Omaha. The first benefit that we're going to talk about is the basic life and accidental death and dismemberment. That's what AD&D stands for. The basic life is a $50,000 policy that the Center for Children pays for you in full. It doesn't cost you anything. Now this coverage is, again, it's a flat $50,000. However, if you were to die in an accident, the benefit is actually doubled. It's called double indemnity. So instead of getting $50,000, your beneficiary would receive $100,000. Now, if you're 65 or older, the benefits will be reduced according to the age reduction schedule that is in the policy. If you have any questions, please refer to your plan summary or reach out to me and I'll be glad to answer those. Okay, here are a couple of benefits that Mutual of Omaha provides to you at no additional cost just because you're a customer of Mutual of Omaha. The first one that we want to make you aware of is identity theft assistance. If something happens and you're a victim of identity theft, reach out to AXA Assistance at the phone number shown, and they can help you get back on the right track to recover from that lost identity. The next benefit that they offer is worldwide travel assistance. Now, this covers you pre-trip as well as while you're on your trip. If something happens and you lose your luggage, they can help you with that, emergency cash or payment, or if you've lost your passport, they can let you know what steps and point you in the right direction and help get you directions to the nearest facility to help you to reissue that passport. They'll even provide interpreter services because if you're in a foreign country and you don't speak their language, then this would definitely help you in that situation. Make sure if you're planning a trip that you print this out and put it in a safe location and take it with you. The next benefit that we want to talk about is the voluntary life and accidental death and dismemberment benefit that you can buy for yourself, your spouse, and your children. Now you have to have coverage in place in order to cover your spouse or your kids. So if you are a new employee recently hired, you have guarantee issue. Okay, what that means is that you can buy life insurance coverage for yourself and your spouse and your kids without any health questions. You can buy up to 5 times your annual salary up to a maximum of $100,000. So if I make $40,000 a year, then I can buy $100,000. Okay, now 5 times my salary is actually $200,000. But for guarantee issued, no health questions asked, the limit is $100,000. If I want to go over that, I can definitely do that, but I'm going to answer a few health questions. And the minimum that I can buy is $10,000 for myself. Now, we encourage you to at least buy the $10,000 because that does protect your insurability going forward. And we're going to talk about that in a second, but just keep that in mind, okay? So the minimum for you is $10,000. Now, your spouse, he or she can have 100% of whatever you elect up to a maximum of $25,000. That's the guarantee issue for your spouse. If you want to go over that amount, he or she would need to fill out those health questions called the evidence of insurability statement. And then your kids can buy 100%, or you can buy for your children 100% up to $10,000 for each child. Now, if you previously declined coverage, you were offered this and you said, I'm good, I don't need to buy it, but this year you do want to buy coverage for yourself, your spouse, or your kids, then you can do that, but we do ask that you complete the evidence of insurability statement, and it's a handful of health questions and prescription drug usage, what drugs do you take, what's their strength and dosage, things like that, and turn that in. And Mutual of Omaha will review your application and then let you know in writing whether they have approved or declined you, and what the effective date would be of the coverage if they decide to put it into effect. Now, if you enrolled for coverage previously when you were eligible and you didn't go up to that guarantee issue amount, the $100,000 for yourself, for example, then you can actually increase your coverage $10,000 each year with no health questions. Okay, that's as long as you bought in for that $10,000 minimum that we talked about. So let's say you bought $50,000 last year. Well, this year you can bump it up $10,000 for a total of $60,000 with no health questions. Now your spouse, okay, he or she's always going to have to answer health questions if you did not buy the guarantee issue amount for him or her when they were first eligible. And then your kids, you do not have to worry about that. Their guarantee issue as well. If you were a late enrollee, again, you can sign up this year. You just have to answer some health questions. Okay, so here's the rate table. And again, this is based on 24 pay cycles each year. So what you do is you go down the left-hand column and find your age. So for example, I am 49 right now. And if I go across and I want to buy $50,000 worth of coverage, I can see it's going to cost me $10.05 a payroll. Okay. Or if I wanted $60,000, it would cost me $12.06 a payroll. But again, let's just say I want to buy the minimum because I wanted to protect myself going forward. It's only $2.01 each payroll cycle. So that is super affordable. Anytime you can get benefits in a group setting, like through your employer, not only is it convenient in its payroll deductions, but it's also super affordable because they're offering it, to a bigger selection of people. So, for example, I have coverage with New York Life for myself, my husband, and my daughter. And I have $100,000 on me, $100,000 on my husband, and $50,000 on my daughter. And it costs me right at $100 a month. And that's just term life. It doesn't build any cash value. It's just like what you have here. It's just a 20-year term policy. Now, your policy here will cover you as long as you're an employee. Okay, so as long as you remain actively employed, you have this coverage. There is no term limit on it, like normal term life insurance. Okay, now let's look at the spouse's premium table. Your spouse's premium is actually based on your age. So, for example, my husband is 52. Now, remember, I'm 49 years old, so he would actually get the benefit of a 49-year-old rate. So, if I wanted to buy $25,000 worth of life and coverage for him, it would cost me $5.03 a paycheck. So super, super affordable. And then drop down to your kids and just go all the way over to that $10,000 mark. If you have 3 kids, each child is going to have his or her own $10,000 life insurance policy, but you're only going to pay one premium of $1.27 a paycheck, not 3, only one premium. So the premium for your children is based on a dependent unit, regardless of how many dependents you have in that unit. Okay, let's move on to short-term disability. This is just paycheck insurance. Something happens to you and you can't work, you still have bills coming in. You got to pay your rent or your electricity or buy groceries, or you got to pay for daycare. Those obligations do not stop just because you're not working. So if you can't work because of an illness or an injury, not work related, okay, you have workers' comp for that, but an illness or an injury, then you have a 15-day waiting period. You have a 14-day waiting period. On the 15th day following the start of your disability, Mutual of Omaha will start sending you a weekly disability check that is 60% of your income up to a maximum of $1,000 per week. So, for example, if I make $1,000 a week, that I'm going to get a check for $600. This benefit is non-taxable. They're not going to send me a W-2 at the end of the year, and they're not going to take taxes out of it because I pay the premium for this coverage. So you can know that whatever your salary is, you're going to get 60% of that. Now, your benefits are going to last until you're no longer disabled, okay, up to a maximum of 11 weeks. For example, if you go out on disability for a maternity, a regular maternity is going to cover you for 6 weeks. Now, remember, you have that 2-week waiting period, so you're actually going to get 4 weeks worth of benefits. If you have a C-section, you're going to be covered for 8 weeks. Again, you have a 2-week waiting period, so it's going to be 6 weeks worth of checks. And with maternities, they actually just give you a lump sum check depending on your method of delivery. But let's say that you're, out hanging Christmas lights and you fall off a ladder. Okay, that's going to cover you up to a maximum of 11 weeks or until you're no longer disabled. So whichever comes first. Coverage is portable, so if you leave employment, you actually get to take this with you, which is almost unheard of because trying to get an individual disability policy, one, there are only a handful of carriers that offer it in the individual market, and two, they really scrutinize you and make you go through, blood work and screenings in order to get the coverage. So now, there is no evidence of insurability required for this. We talked about on life insurance, if you previously declined, you have to answer those health questions. That is not true for this short-term disability coverage. If you want to sign up for the first time, July 1st, you can totally do that. Anyone who is new to short-term disability, whether you're a new employee or you're signing up for the first time, there is a pre-existing limitation that you need to be aware of. Mutual of Omaha will not cover any condition that existed 3 months prior to your coverage effective date. So if this coverage goes into effect July 1st, 2020, they're going to look back April, May, and June. And any condition that you had received treatment for, you took medication, you received medical consultation, or it just existed, any condition, they're not going to cover for a period of 6 months. Okay, starting July 1st. So July, August, September, October, November, December. So January 1, 2021, you're going to be fully covered. Okay, so, but let's say that you didn't have any pre-existing conditions and something happened, then you're going to be fully covered from day one. But for example, I have high blood pressure. So if something happens to me in my first 6 months of coverage that is related to my high blood pressure, Mutual's not going to pay that claim. But if I do fall off that ladder hanging Christmas lights, they're going to pay that because that is not pre-existing. Okay. Now here is a brief premium calculation example just to walk you through so you would know how much this would actually cost you. So you would enter your weekly earnings, multiply it by the factor shown, and that's your biweekly premium. It is that easy. Okay, and remember, you get 60% of whatever your pre-disability income is. So what do you need to do now? Well, as we discussed, it is open enrollment. This is the time of year where you can add coverage or drop coverage. Again, some of those changes may require evidence of insurability with Mutual of Omaha, but whatever you want to do, fill out the enrollment form for Mutual of Omaha, and if you need to fill out the evidence of insurability statement, make sure you do that as well. Turn in those forms by June the 8th. Changes will go into effect July 1st, 2020, unless you're subject to that evidence of insurability, and then Mutual will put it in writing the effective date that they will honor or that they will offer you. If you would like to schedule a one-on-one Zoom session with me to talk about the life or disability benefits or any of the benefits of your policy, please schedule an appointment and follow the instructions that were provided by Melissa and an email. It'll have the meeting ID number as well as the password, and you can sign up for the date and time of your choice. Here's the carrier information for all of the carriers that are associated with our health benefits, and we want to make sure that you have access to their phone number and website in case you have any questions. And finally, here's my contact information. Any questions or concerns that you have at all, please call me. This is my direct dial number, or shoot me an email and I will respond to you as quickly as possible. Thanks for your time and have a great day.